Some games are so good and they deserve to blow up, but for some reason they just didn't sell. Today we are looking at some amazing games that flopped at launch, and because of that, we'll probably never see a sequel. It's a real shame too, because these games had serious potential. Now let's give them the spotlight they never really got. First game that I'm gonna mention in this video is Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, so when Guardians of the Galaxy came out back in 2021, not many people cared about it. A lot of folks just ignored it or thought it was gonna be bad. Mostly because there was another Marvel game just before this, the Avengers one, and that game was kinda boring, not great live service stuff. So people thought Guardians of the Galaxy would be the same kind of thing, but guess what? It's actually a really good and well-made single-player experience. This game is like a big space movie, but you get to play it. You control Star-Lord, the main guy, with jet boots and blasters, but you're not alone, the whole gang is with you. Rocket, Groot, Drax, Gamora, and they are all in the story. All the time, and they talk a lot, like seriously, they're always chatting and yelling and making jokes, but it's funny, not annoying, feels like they're friends talking to you, arguing, and the story is really fun. There's action, funny parts, and even some stuff that gets you really interested in this world. You go to different planets, meet weird creatures, and get into big space battles. It's like being inside a Marvel movie, but way better in many ways because you're actually doing the stuff, not just passively watching. And the game looks beautiful too. The planets and the space stuff are colorful and cool to look at, and the character models look great and have a lot of detail. You can tell the people who made the game really cared a lot. The only thing is, not many people bought it. It didn't sell well, sadly. So even though it's an awesome game with a great story and fun characters, it kind of flopped, which is sad because this game is actually a masterpiece in its own way. It's not too long, not too hard, and it keeps you hooked the whole time. It's a perfectly made single player experience which we greatly need these days. Next, we're gonna be talking about Spec Ops The Line. Okay, so this game, yeah, when it first came out, it looks like a regular military game. Like, you see the cover, you see the name, and you're probably thinking, oh, it's just one of those boring military shooting games. But nah, man, this one is really different. Like, it tricks you. It starts off normal, then slowly turns into something way deeper and kind of dark, but in a good way. You play as this soldier named Walker. He's leading a small team into this city called Dubai, but it's not the normal Dubai we know. This place is destroyed, sand everywhere, buildings falling apart. It looks like a war zone mixed with Sandstorm Nightmare, and you are there to find another soldier who went missing. Well, sounds like a pretty simple story setup, right? But the more you play, the more messed up things get. At first, you think you are the hero. You think you are doing the right thing, but then the game starts showing you stuff that makes you stop and think. Like, wait, are we really the good guys here? And that feeling just keeps growing. There's this one moment, it's really heavy, and I won't spoil it, but it really hits you hard. Makes your stomach feel weird. It's not about jumping and shooting anymore, it's about choices, regret, guilt. Stuff you don't usually feel in a game like this. And what's crazy is most people missed it. They thought it was just another military shooter game, but the truth is this game has one of the smartest stories ever put in a shooter. No joke, it's not just about the action, it's about what war does to people, like really shows the human side of it. Even the ending messes with your brain. You finish the game and just kinda sit there, quiet, thinking about everything you did. It's not fun, you're like, yeah, let's play again kind of way. It's more like, wow, but did I just go through? Now talking about the gameplay, it's pretty standard, shoot, take cover, move forward. But the way the game tells its story and how it makes you feel, that's where it really shines. The city looks amazing too, like all the sand and broken glasses and orange skies. It's creepy and beautiful at the same time. So yeah, Spec Ops The Line didn't sell a lot, it flopped when it launched. But the people who did play it still talk about it today because it's not like a normal average game. It's a real experience, a masterpiece hiding in plain sight. And one of the worst parts is the game is delisted on all online storefronts, so you really can't get your hands on a legit copy, which is a real shame because even if you now want to buy the game and experience it, there's just no way. The next game is Prey 2017. So Prey is one of those games that a lot of people really skipped. Came out in 2017 and yeah, flopped. Like, not many folks talked about it and even less actually played it. But man, they missed out big time. This game is crazy good. It's one of those smart sci-fi games where you really gotta use your brain. It's also super fun and creepy in a cool way. You play as this character named Morgan Yu. You wake up on this giant space station called Talos, and guess what? The station's a mess, something went really wrong. There's this creepy black alien thing called Typhon running around. They don't talk, they just shapeshift and attack you. Some of them can even pretend to be stuff like coffee cups or chairs, and then boom, they might jump at your face. It's kind of wild, keeps you on your toes the whole time. But here's what makes Prey awesome. It's not just about shooting aliens, it's about exploring, solving problems, making choices, like real choices. You can sneak, you can fight, or even use weird alien powers you can find. There's no one right way to do stuff. The game lets you be creative, you find different paths, hack doors, climb vents, or even glue things together to make your own way. It makes you feel smart, like a space detective or something. The space station itself is super detailed too. Every room feels lived in. You find notes, emails, stuff from the people who used to live there. You start to piece together what happened. It's like reading a sci-fi book while also fighting monsters. The story is really deep too. It messes with your head. There are questions about who you really are and what the Typhon really want, and if you're even making the right choices. Some of the twists are super shocking. You might finish the game and still be thinking about it for days. The sad thing is, this game didn't sell like the others, even though it was made by a great studio and had amazing ideas. It just kinda got ignored. Maybe the trailers didn't show how cool it was, or maybe people just weren't in the mood for a slow burn space game at the time. But now, years later, more and more folks are going back and realizing how special Prey really is. It's a hidden gem. If you like smart games with deep stories, cool powers, and creepy aliens, this game is for you. It may have flopped when it came out, but honestly, it's a masterpiece in disguise. You just gotta give it a chance. Next, we're gonna be talking about Alien Isolation. Okay, so when Alien Isolation came out, a lot of folks didn't finish it or didn't even try it. Some people said it was too slow or too scary, and yeah, sure, it is scary, but man, this game is something special. So here's the deal. You play as this woman named Amanda Ripley. She's the daughter of Alan Ripley from the old Alien movies. You go to this space station called Sevastopol trying to find out what happened to your mom, but of course, nothing goes as planned. There's this alien on board, not just any alien, the alien. The big scary one with the shiny head and the creepy mouth inside a mouth thing, and it is haunting you the whole game. But here's what makes Alien Isolation different. You're not some big action hero, you don't have a ton of guns, you don't even get to fight the alien most of the time. You gotta hide, sneak, stay quiet. You're crawling under tables, hiding in the lockers, trying not to breathe too loud. That alien is smart too. It hears you, smells you, and it learns. If you hide in the same place too often, it will figure it out. It's like you're really being hunted, and that makes everything way more intense. The space station looks amazing too. It's got this old school sci-fi vibe, like 1970 future style. Blinking lights, clunky computers, heavy doors, all of it feels real. It feels like you're inside one of those classic movies. The sound design is crazy too. Every little beep or hiss makes you jump. Sometimes you'll hear the alien crawling through the vents above you and you just freeze in the place, scared to move. The story is pretty solid too. It keeps you moving and gives you just enough hope to keep going, even when things feel hopeless. You meet other people, try to survive, and uncover what happened on the station. And it's not just the alien there that are creepy. There are creepy androids too. They walk real slow and talk in this weird calm voice, but if they grab you, you are done for. So you're not just hiding from one thing, it's a whole mess of danger. But yeah, when this game dropped, a lot of people didn't finish it. They said it was too long, too hard, some folks just gave up, so it didn't sell great. It didn't get the hype it really deserved, but here's the truth. If you stick with it, it becomes one of the most unforgettable horror games ever made. Next, I wanna mention Ryse Son of Rome. Man, Ryse Son of Rome is one of those games that people loved to clown on when it first came out. Like seriously, everyone called it a tech demo, just something shiny to show off the Xbox One's graphics. And yeah, it does look insane even today. It still feels out of its time. The armor, the blood, the mass battles, everything looks super realistic. But here's the thing, this game was way more than just good looks. It actually had a heart. You play as a Roman soldier named Ryse. At first, it's pretty simple setup. He's protecting his family, fighting for Rome, all that honor stuff. Then everything goes downhill fast. His family gets killed, the empire starts falling apart, and the whole game turns into this brutal revenge story. You're marching through burning cities, fighting barbarians, leading soldiers, yelling commands. It feels huge and cinematic, like you're inside a movie. The gameplay itself is simple, sword, shield, and a bunch of slow motion finishers. Yeah, some people said it was repetitive, but honestly it's satisfying as hell. Smashing enemies with your shield and cutting them down just feels good. You don't always need deep systems or millions of buttons. Sometimes it's fun to just jump in and feel like a badass Roman warrior. Now when it launched, it didn't do great. A lot of people skipped it or never took it seriously. Critics were rough on it, said it was shallow, but Ryse was never trying to be super deep. a life-changing game. It just wanted to tell a cool story, give you a fun combat, and drop you into a world that looks massive and beautiful. And honestly, it really nailed that. Now these days, more people are going back to it and saying, wait, this is actually kind of fire. It's one of those games that got laughed at for no real reason. If you sit down and play it without crazy expectations, you'll probably... Okay, that's a train.
That's definitely one.
Now, these days, more people are going back to it and saying, wait, this is actually really good. It's one of those games that got laughed at for no real reason. If you sit down and play it without some crazy expectations, you'll probably have a great time. It's short, fun, and looks insane, and makes you feel like a straight up gladiator. Now next is Alpha Protocol. This game is kinda like Mass Effect but with spies instead of space. You play as this guy named Michael Thornton. He's a spy, like full-on secret agent style, guns, sneaking, talking to shady people, going on missions all over the world. You travel to places like Moscow, Rome, and the Middle East, and depending on how you act, the story changes a lot. And that's the big thing about Alpha Protocol: choices. The game is all about choices, but not just big ones at the end of the game. Every little thing you say and do can change how people treat you. If you are rude to someone, they might hate you forever. If you are friendly or even silent, that changes stuff too. Enemies can become friends, friends can stab you out in the back. It's like one big spy soap opera, and you are in control of how it plays out. Even in the middle of missions, you get to choose how you wanna play. You can sneak through vents and take people out quietly, or you can go loud with guns and grenades, or you can just talk your way through stuff. There's skills and upgrades and all that stuff, but the heart of the game is how you shape your version of the story. Now here's the sad part: when Alpha Protocol dropped, it flopped hard, like super hard. Reviewers called it buggy, players didn't finish it, it got buried, but years later people started going back to it and saying, wait, this game was kinda genius honestly, because it is. It did things that even big games today don't do, like how your choices really matter here in this world, how you can talk your way through boss fights, and how different each playthrough can be. Sure, the graphics look old, the combat's kinda stiff, but if you can look past that, this game has one of the smartest and most reactive stories ever made. In not just an RPG, it just needed more polish. It had the heart, the soul, the ideas, not the budget maybe though. Enslaved Odyssey to the West. So Enslaved Odyssey to the West is one of those games that kinda disappeared when it came out. Some people saw it, but not many people played it. Flopped in sales, but this game is a masterpiece that got totally ignored. Like, it's so good, it's kinda sad how many people missed out on this. You play as this big strong guy named the Monkey, literally. Yeah, that's his name. He wakes up inside a prison ship, and there's this girl named Strip who's also stuck there. Like, they both escape, but then she pulls this headband thing on Monkey. It's like a mind control band. If she dies, he dies. So now he has to protect her whether he wants to or not. That's how the game starts, and it only gets better from there. It's set in the future, but not the shiny robot kinda. It's all green and wild, like nature has taken over everything. Cities are broken and covered in trees and vines. It's actually really pretty to look at. Like, really peaceful even though there are robots trying to kill you. The gameplay is simple but fun. You climb stuff, fight with the staff, protect Trip, and work together. Monkey's the fighter and Trip's the smart one. She helps you open doors, distract enemies, stuff like that. It's all about teamwork, but the real magic is the story and the characters. The game isn't super long either, and it's not super hard. It's more about the journey, the world, the characters, the feeling of it. It's one of those games that just feels good to play, but for some reason it didn't sell much. Maybe it didn't have big ads, or maybe people just didn't get what it was about, but it flopped, which is a huge shame. And because really, Enslaved is one of the best story games from that time. It's got the heart, it's got action, it looks amazing, and it still holds up today. It's like one of those hidden movies you find by accident and end up loving. Next is Mirror's Edge. Now, Mirror's Edge didn't try to be like everything else. No guns blazing, no big open world with side quests everywhere, just you, rooftops, and movement. This game was all about the flow, parkour, and first person, which almost no one had done before. You play as Faith, a runner in a clean, cold future city where everything looks perfect, but underneath it's all rotten. The vibe here is super unique: white buildings, pops of red, clear blue skies. It doesn't look like other games, it feels fresh even today, and then there's the way it plays. You're not just pressing a button to jump, you're timing it, grabbing ledges, rolling when you land, sprinting across pipes, crashing through windows. When it clicks, it's like dancing. You get in the zone and just move. No game feels quite like it. But Again, here's the thing, Mirror's Edge didn't do so hot when it came out. It wasn't some big hit, people didn't know what to do with it, a lot of folks just got frustrated, fell off rooftops too many times, or just didn't vibe with the no gun, no hand-holding style. So yeah, it flopped. EA didn't even rush to make a sequel, it took years before they even touched it again, which is a miracle they actually did. Mirror's Edge 2 came out, sadly kinda the same fate of that one too. Still, there's something kinda pure about this game. It's short, it's focused, no filler, you're running, jumping, escaping, that's it. The music's chill, the world is cold and quiet, and the story is simple but interesting. You're just this one person up against a system that wants to crush you. It's not loud, it just is. A lot of games now borrow pieces of what Mirror's Edge did back then, the game, parkour, the moment, first design, but still, this one stands out the most. It had guts, it didn't chase trends, it tried something new, and even though it stumbled a bit, it made history in its own way. Next game we're gonna be talking about is Okami. So, you ever see something so beautiful that you wonder why nobody talks about it? That's Okami really. This game dropped back in the PS2 days, and when it did, barely anyone picked it up. It flopped hard, just completely flew under the radar, but man, if there was ever a game that deserved better, is this one. First off, yeah, the art, this thing doesn't look like any other game. It's not trying to be realistic, it's like you're playing inside a moving painting. First off, yeah, the art. This thing doesn't look like any other game. It's not trying to be realistic, it's like you're playing inside a moving painting. Everything's hand-drawn and full of brush strokes and flowing lines. It's inspired by old Japanese art and it looks really gorgeous. Even today it holds up, you could boot it up right now and it would still feel fresh. You play as a white wolf named Amaterasu. She's actually a sun god, but the game never gets all preachy or confusing about it. You're just this quiet, magical wolf going around fixing the world. There's this evil kind of darkness spreading, and your job is to bring life and color back to the land. Wherever you go, trees bloom, rivers flow again, the sky clears up. It's peaceful and satisfying and kind of magical. And now the gameplay is like a mix of Zelda and something totally its own. You explore, fight monsters, solve puzzles, talk to your little characters, and do a lot of drawing. Yeah, that's the big thing. The celestial brush. You pause the game and draw symbols right on the screen to make stuff happen. A circle brings back the sun. A slash cuts enemies or opens the doors. It's weird at first, but once it clicks, it feels awesome. You're not just pressing buttons, you're painting your way through the story. Now the game's long too, not bloated, but full of stuff to do. Different regions, dungeons, and bosses, side quests. The characters are goofy and fun, but the story also has some really sweet and emotional moments. And the music, don't even get me started. It's peaceful and powerful all at once, so totally a vibe. But here's the sad part, when it launched, it didn't sell well, not even close honestly. Probably because people didn't know what to make of it. Maybe it looked too artsy, maybe it was just bad timing. Even the folks who did buy it had to deal with a dumb box art mistake where they forgot to put the main character on the cover. Like, how do you mess that up? Over the years though, Okami got the love, it got re-released on your consoles, people started talking about it more, it became one of those cult classic games. The kind that didn't blow up, but stuck with you forever if you played it. Next I want to talk about is Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. So back in 2012, this game shows up called Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. Funny name, kinda long, sounds like a Dungeons and Dragons thing, right? And yeah, it's a bit fantasy RPG, swords, magic, dragons, all that stuff, but it also had something a lot of games didn't have back then. Fun, fast combat that didn't feel slow or stiff. Most RPGs were like pause the game, plan your move, hit a button, wait. But Amalur, nah, it felt more like an action game. You swing your sword, roll around, cast spells, use crazy moves. It actually felt good to fight stuff. Some people even said it was like a new God of War meets Skyrim, which yeah, that's kinda true. Now the world in this game is huge, like seriously massive. So many different areas, towns, forests, deserts, dungeons, it just kept going. And it wasn't ugly either. Everything was bright and colorful, not all dark and muddy like a lot of fantasy games. It had this cool cartoonish style that made it stand out, even the armor looked awesome. You'd get this glowing helmet or giant shoulder pads and be like, yep, I'm a beast now. The story was actually kinda cool too. You're this guy who wakes up in a pile of dead bodies. Not creepy, I promise. You're supposed to be dead, but some magic brought you back to life, and now you're the only one who can change fate. Everyone else is stuck on a path. They're gonna die a certain way, and that's it. But you can rewrite the future. That idea alone is dope. It gives you this weird feeling of power, like anything is possible. There's also a bunch of choices, different classes, tons of quests, and so many cool weapons. You can go full warrior, stealthy rogue, magic wizard, or mix it all together, and they let you respec whenever you want. So if you're like, I don't like being a sneaky, you just switch it up, no punishment. But here's the sad part, even though the game was fun and solid and had all this content, it flopped big time. It's all okay, but not enough. The studio behind it got shut down, and there was all this drama with lawsuits and government loans and other boring business junk. And just like that, Amalur disappeared. Luckily, people didn't totally forget about it. Years later, they dropped a remaster called Re-Reckoning, kind of funny name, and now more folks are discovering it, but still, it's one of those games that had the bones of something huge. Like, if it had gotten sequel or more polish, it could have been a big franchise. Next I want to talk about is Mad Max. So Mad Max throws you right into this dry, dusty wasteland. It's post-apocalyptic, the world's all ruined, there's no water, barely any gas, and people have gone totally nuts. But somehow it looks beautiful, like really beautiful. The deserts, the sandstorms, the broken highways, even the sun hitting your rusty car just right, it all looks amazing. You'd think a world full of dirt would be boring, right? But it really is not. It's kind of peaceful in a scary way. You play as Max. Just Max, he doesn't talk much, he's always mad, and honestly he's just trying to survive. The game starts off wild. You get your car stolen, your gear taken, you get beat up bad, so now your goal is simple. Build the ultimate car, get your stuff back, and escape this shitty hellhole. Now the best part of this whole game is the car combat. Now no joke, you spend so much time in your ride and it feels awesome. You can boost, ram into enemies, shoot harpoons to rip off doors, throw exploding spears. It just is pure chaos. Every battle feels like something out of a movie, and once you upgrade your car, called the Magnum Opus, it becomes this beast of a machine. You wanna make it faster, stronger, covered in spikes? Well, go for it. There's a ton of options and it actually feels worth it. The hand-to-hand combat is solid too. It's kinda like Batman Arkham, where you punch, dodge, counter and take on groups of enemies in these brutal brawls. Max fights dirty, headbutts, body slams, kicks to the face. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done. The world's also packed with stuff to do. Enemy camps to wipe out, secret lead to find, snappers to take down, convoys to chase. Yeah, it has that open world checklist thing, but it's not annoying. The game doesn't force you to do everything. You do it cause it's just fun. You like the stuff, the gameplay loop. You are just out there driving through sandstorms, fighting off raiders and trying to stay alive in this broken world. But for some reason, when this game came out, people just didn't care about it. Maybe it was the timing, maybe folks thought it looked generic, but the truth is Mad Max was way better than it had any right to be. It had a style, it had grit, and it nailed that feeling of being alone in a huge, dangerous world. The story wasn't anything super deep, but it had moments, especially near the end, that actually kinda hit hard. So next game that I want to talk about is Rage 2. So Rage 2 is one of those games where you look at it and go, dang, this looks sick, big explosions, pink paint everywhere, chunky sci-fi guns, and a main character that can do superpower style moves like ground slams and air dashes. The trailers made it look like Doom meets Mad Max with a shot of crazy. And to be fair, the moment-to-moment gameplay, it does feel awesome. Shooting in this game is smooth as butter, the guns hit hard, enemies go flying, and once you start unlocking your powers, you feel like a freaking superhero in Apocalypse. There's a shotgun that literally blows people across the map, there's a power punch that launches dude into the sky. It's fun, like really fun, but for a bit. The problem is, the world around that fun is kinda empty. It's an open world game, but the world feels really lifeless. You're driving around this big dusty map and half the time you're like, wait, where's everybody? There's a few enemy camps here and there and some races or missions spread across, but nothing really pulls you in. There's not much story to care about either. You're just some ranger dude trying to stop a bad guy who shows up for like 2 minutes total, and then boom, that's kinda it. But hey, if you just wanna blow stuff up and don't care about deep story or world building, this game totally scratches that itch. The driving's alright, the shooting's top tier, and the colors, oh man, it's like someone spilled neon paint all over the Apocalypse. Very stylish, very loud. So yeah, Rage 2 is one of those games that starts strong, gives you some cool toys to play with, but then runs out of steam real fast. It had potential, it just needed more heart, or at least more interesting stuff to do between the shootouts. Next game I want to talk about is Beyond Good and Evil. The game that no one really played but everyone respects now. So Beyond Good and Evil dropped back in the early 2000s, and right out of the gate most people skipped over it. Like, nobody was really checking for it, it didn't have a huge marketing push, and the cover wasn't exactly screaming, buy me now, it's really interesting, buy it. It looked kind of weird, a protagonist with a camera in a sci-fi world full of animal people, not exactly the stuff selling consoles back then. But the people who did play it, oh man, they found something special. You play as Jade, she's not a superhero, not a soldier, just a regular woman who takes care of a bunch of orphan kids and works as a photojournalist. She lives in this cool futuristic world where something shady is going on, aliens keep attacking, and these governments are like, hey, don't worry, we got this. But spoiler alert, they do not got this. So Jade grabs her camera and starts digging, and what's real dope here is the gameplay. It mixes sneaking, exploring, light fighting, and photography. Like you're literally snapping pics to expose the truth and uncover a conspiracy. And it really works. The world feels alive, the music's chill, but it hits hard in the right moments. And Jade, she's actually a super likable character, strong, but real on some over the top, just someone trying to do the right thing. Now here's the thing, this game totally flopped when it came out, barely sold, most folks didn't even knew it existed, but over the time people started going back to it and now it's kinda got this cult following. Like one of those how did this not blow up kind of situations. It's not perfect, the combat's super simple, the camera can be clunky sometimes, and yeah, it's a bit dated by today's standards, but it's got a real soul, it's got heart, and it's telling a story that actually matters in a way that feels really fresh these days. Next game that we're going to be talking about is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So this is the third game in the reboot trilogy. You had Tomb Raider in 2013, then Rise of the Tomb Raider, and finally this one, Shadow of the Tomb Raider in 2018. But here's the thing, this one really didn't hit the same for a lot of people. Some said the story was too slow, Lara felt a little off, and the game tried to be way too serious. And yeah, I get that. The tone is darker, Lara's kinda cold and quiet, and the story is all about ancient stuff, guilt, death, and the end of the world. Not exactly popcorn fun vibes, but if you can look past that, man, there's a lot to love here. But first off, the tombs. The actual tombs in Shadow of the Tomb Raider are the best in the whole series, no contest. These things are big, creepy, dangerous, and they actually feel like places someone shouldn't be going into. There's traps, puzzles, deep underground caverns, lost temples. It finally feels like a real tomb raiding game, not just some side activity like in past games. And they look beautiful, the lighting, the reflections, the way vines hang off broken statues, it all looks so damn good. Now yeah, the combat wasn't everybody's favorite, there's less of it and it tries to make you sneak more. Some players really didn't vibe with it, but I really like that rainbow vibe the game had, getting all yourself in dirt and then sneaking enemies from tree branches, strangling them with your bow and arrow. It was really satisfying to take him down like that. Now the story, yeah, not exactly happy-to-go-lucky adventuring vibe here, but honestly that darker tone gives it some more weight. Now yeah, the sad part, the game got brushed off. Like after how big Rise of the Tomb Raider was, people barely talked about Shadow. It didn't sell as much, it didn't get the hype, and some folks still call it the weakest in the trilogy. But now man, it's just different. In my opinion at least, I liked it. It's slower, more thoughtful, and way more about exploring than action. And in terms of actual tomb raiding, it absolutely nails it. So yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider might not be everyone's favorite, but it's got some of the best environments, the coolest tombs, and some of the best graphics in the series. Now, it wasn't a total flop, but definitely an underrated pick. Now we're gonna be talking about one of the best games of all time and one of the most underrated games of all time. So Days Gone came out and people kinda trashed it. Not all of them, but a lot of game reviewers didn't really show it love. Some said it was boring, some said it was buggy, others didn't like the main dude Deacon, and yeah, maybe the launch was a little rough with some glitches here and there, but man, this game did not deserve all hate it got really. Because if you actually sit down and play it, like really give it time, you'll see it actually kinda amazing. You have this biker guy named Deacon St. John. He's not trying to save the whole world or be some big hero. He's just trying to find his family, his brother. There's zombies everywhere, but they call them freakers here. And these things aren't slow and dumb. They're fast, they scream, and they haunt you in big groups. Sometimes you'll be riding your bike and a whole freaking horde comes after you, and I mean like hundreds of them. Gameplay gets sweaty real fast, but the game isn't just about killing freaks. There's a whole story going on. It's about love, loss, loyalty, and just staying human in a messed up post-apocalyptic world. Deacon's not a perfect guy, but he feels real. You can tell he's hurting, but still trying to keep moving. Some of the scenes really hit hard, honestly, in the cutscenes, especially later in the story. It goes from just another zombie open world game to something way more personal. Now yeah, some missions are a bit slow in the first few hours, not everything clicks right away, but that's kind of the point here. The game wants you to live in this world a little, ride your bike, help camps, do jobs, fix stuff, survive, and speaking of the bike, it's not just a thing you hop on and go. You gotta take care of it. You need gas, you need repairs. It makes the whole thing feel more real, like you're out there actually trying to survive on this machine. Now the world in Days Gone is big, but not bloated. You get forests, snowy mountains, rainstorms, creepy abandoned towns, and it all looks good, like really good. The sound design is on point, you hear freakers in the distance or wolves creeping nearby, and it keeps you on the edge whole time. And now don't even talk about the horde battles. These are straight up chaos. You're throwing molotovs, placing traps like crazy, trying to stay alive. It feels scary, but in a really fun, satisfying way. Every horde fight is like a little puzzle mixed with full-on panic mode. It's honestly kind of wild how this game got pushed to the side, like yeah, it ain't perfect, But what game really is? It's got heart, it's got style, and it's one of those games that get better the longer you stick with it. It didn't blow up like the other PlayStation exclusives, but that doesn't mean it's trash. It's one of those hidden gems that hits hard once you really dig into it. If you never gave it a shot, now's the best time to do so. Days Gone is way more than people said. It's not just a zombie game like generic stuff, it's full ride through a broken world with one of the most underrated stories out there.